Now we'll have to keep this efficient because my brisket is smoking outside.
Oh, yes.
And I need to stop when it reaches an internal temperature of 93 degrees.
Well, I hope you've timed it right because
I haven't timed it. I have a what's it called? Meat thermometer in it.
Yes,
Sorry, I'm
but
middle-aged now. I take smoking meat very seriously.
I know. You started smoking earlier. Or, well, you started preparing for smoking and it's a full day affair. Carl started smoking and getting the stuff ready for it. To smoke the brisket, I got the brisket for you and I got the stuff to create the rub.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a full
Operation.
A full operation just to put a rub on a meat. Hello, lovely listeners. Welcome to another episode of How Are You, Lovie?
How are we all getting on? Hope everyone is good.
I'm Aisling.
I'm Carl.
Are we surviving in the heat?
Well, I don't know. I mean, by the time everyone listens to this, hopefully the worst of that's over. But I know I've definitely banged on about it because I couldn't cope.
No, it's been absolutely glorious. I think when you plan the curtains and the windows right. I had a day off on Friday and it was blissful.
No.
The kids had a great time.
I have to say, I don't think the heat wave was glorious in any way, shape or form. And I even was talking to someone who knows someone from Italy, and the person from Italy was like, no, this is completely different to an Italian summer. Because they were like, you must be used to the heat. And the Italian person was like, no, I'm used to the heat. I'm not used to the wet heat that you get here in Ireland.
Yes.
The humidity was hell.
It wasn't that bad. We've been in Singapore before where that humidity was horrific.
That was horrendous.
Or we've been in New Orleans.
Nolans, that was bad.
I had to go back. I was wearing a strapless bra. Do you remember that? And we were going for breakfast in New Orleans.
Yeah.
And I had to go back and change my bra because the humidity was so bad that the sweat, do you remember that?
The sweat was squirting out of your baps.
From everywhere else. But like, effectively, the strapless bra was just like, this is too moist for me to stay in the body and was sliding down. And it's like, I cannot sit at breakfast with like saggy baps.
The only thing is though about places like that, because I know there's parts of the States where they get like very high humidity. The only thing is they get regular thunderstorms. Problem with us is it's like our humidity sits at a level that's not enough to create a thunderstorm to clear the air.
Yes.
It just sits at this like just under the cusp of thunderstorms. So it's always heavy. I will complain about this till the day I die.
I was about to say, I was like, are you still
I
complaining?
will absolutely complain.
I was off Friday.
It
It was glorious. I just kept the kids in the shade. I was in the shade. The kids were hydrated. They were cool. The house was ventilated. I had my little system of how everything operated. Cark galore. It was amazing.
Well, actually, I've got a lot of interest in. I bought a kind of what's it called? A mobile air conditioning unit.
Yes.
And people might have seen it on my Instagram if you're following me there. And have to say, definitely a good buy. Like it just takes the edge off of it. It's not like it cools down the whole house, but it definitely takes the edge off of it, doesn't it?
Well, in your eyes, yes. I felt it took the edge off it when we moved it into the utility space.
We're having a disagreement as to where it goes now.
Yes.
But we'll figure that out over
As to where
days.
it's more functional in the house, I felt it was better in the utility space.
Well, listen, if you are just joining us for the first time, we are Carl and Ash, we're husband and wife, and this is our weekly catch-up with each other. Busy, busy, busy lives, like a lot of you listening right now. And we just decided, you know what, if we at least schedule time in to record a podcast, it gives us time to catch up with each other and all will be well with the world. howareyolovie@gmail.com if you want to give us a little email, or you can leave a comment underneath Spotify or on YouTube as well. Can I kick us off just with a very quick message from someone? This comes from Neve Nom Nom. This one's specifically for you. Hi, Carl and Ash. I am living in Manchester and enjoy the pod regularly. It's like a little slice of home, and you're both so honest and funny. Thank you so much for that, Neve.
Thanks, Neve.
Anyway, I'm due a baby mid-July, and ever since your episode where you spoke about the balloons dropping and baby being born, I can't stop thinking about it. Literally finished work a week ago from my maternity leave, and the gang gifted me some fab gifts, including a bunch of foil balloons. We've a 1-year-old at home, so naturally they are still in the house being played with, but I can't help but notice they're getting lower and lower. Am I making it to mid-July with this baby? Possibly not if the balloon theory pulls through. Thanks for the pod. You've got me through a bunch of balloons. You've got me watching a bunch of balloons like a mad woman. Neve and the bump. Okay, so I want to start off today's episode with what's your prediction for Neve?
What do you mean? What's my prediction?
When's this baby?
I don't know.
Born?
I can't predict when the baby's
the
being
balloon
born.
predicts.
The balloon predicts when this baby's being born.
What I will say to you, Neve, is that the balloons kind of they initially start to drop quite drastically, and it does slow down.
Like we had a balloon that was hovering for about a week and a half. It was nearly 2. It was about a week and 9 days, wasn't it?
But it's when it touches the floor.
It has to be
baby's
touching the floor, flat down, no movement. As in, this is my last. I'm lying for the last time. Literally, the balloon is like half deflated, like on the floor.
It hasn't failed us yet. So, Niamh, when baby comes, please do, when you're settled in and everything, give us an update on how you're getting on. Best of luck. We're delighted for you. That's brilliant. Okay, let's kick things off. Ash, how are you, lovey?
Well, I've had an interesting week.
You have?
Yes. For some reason, right, you're going to love this now. My farts have been...
Jesus. I was wondering, when you said I have an interesting week, I was like, either she's going to like talk about something real random or she's going to have a go. It's one or the other. I'm glad it's farts.
My farts have been exceptionally stinky this week. I don't know if I think it might be the smoker. Probably because do you know? Actually, sorry, I've answered my own question. It's because we've had steak every. Sorry,
Ash, I wouldn't mind as well. Our friends were coming over, like yesterday evening, and Ash was like, will we get steak? I was like, Ash, we've had steak 3 times this week.
Sorry, that's exactly.
I was like, we're not having it a 4th time this week.
That is exactly what's wrong with my gut. See, this is why the podcast is so good. I can just say things out and then it just gets solved. So that's what it is. I need to go veggie again. So So to the extent, Carl, right? I mean, I was caught sometimes in the office this week. I thought people were gone and I let out one and then people walked back into the office and it lingered.
That happened to me before.
I just don't say anything.
When I was in college, I went to a college. It was called IT Tala at the time. It used to be called Tala IT, but then people were calling it TIT, so they changed it to IT Tala. Now it's TU Dublin.
Yes.
Anyway, we used to go over to the square in Tala for our lunch break a lot of the time. And I remember walking into a lift in the square, and it was just me and the lads. And as we were going in the door, I farted. Because I was like, the doors were about to be closing. And I was like, choke on that, lads. And as I turned around, there was a woman who was directly behind me. So not only had I farted directly on her, the doors closed and she had to sit in my filth. And I just remember the awkwardness, and just one of the lads, Limo, was shaking, laughing. He couldn't, because it was horrible. And you know the way in college you're out in the piss constantly, so your gut's just in bits. So that's what you've been like anyway all this week.
That's what it is, steak. But like even the other day, yesterday, I was in the shop, right? Bumped into our neighbour. But before I bumped into him,
farted?
Yes. So as he came over to me, he was surrounded by my wall of fart.
Oh no! So you knew that it was there.
Yes.
And you're having to be. And the problem is
you have to pretend.
Pretend, be like, oh, what's going on there?
Yeah, pretend that I just didn't smell. I'm like, Yeah, so that's been my week. But like, that's why this podcast is so good. That's what it is. It's too much steak. And here we are, fecking having brisket again tonight. The other thing, then, right? I was with one of your colleagues from work. He told me to keep him anonymous, but I was with one of them, Carl. I'm joking.
I think who it was.
No, I'm joking. But he asked me, it was his first time to meet me properly. And he asked me, is it okay if I call you Ash?
Yes, I do remember this.
And I hesitated and I was like, Aisling. And he's like, oh, okay. And I was like, no. I said, do you know what? I said, Carl does call me Ash. And I said, but he's grown up calling me Ash. And then some of our friends out of that group that we've grown up with will call me Ash.
But you actually don't like it.
I prefer Aisling. Yeah.
It's mad because it's so like just ingrained in me now.
It's Ash. It's always been Ash to you.
But is it like how I say it?
I think so. But even then, stop now. Even when I was
Ash.
over in London, the girls over there, some of them will call me Aisling, but some of them, when they're looking at my name, they're like, even though they know how to say my name.
Yeah.
So they just called me Ash. And when they say it, it's fine. When you say it, it's fine.
But
when Kevin says it, one of our besties, I was like, it's fine. But I'm trying to think of it. But everyone else would generally call me, even the girls from college would call me Aisling.
I think you don't mind it if it's a short Ash, but if it's people like linger on the sh, that's what annoys it. Ash.
Yes, I don't like that.
Whereas if it's like Ash.
Yeah.
Jeez.
You have to be abrupt. So that's what I to make it easier.
Like you.
Yeah. So then to make life easier, I was like, just call me Aisling.
Yeah.
So then I was like, I've given you a complex now. And he's like, yeah, you totally have. I'm so sorry. I was like, I am so sorry. I was like, just call me Aisling. I was like, if he had introduced me as Aisling, you'd call me Aisling.
Yeah, okay. It's an easier way to go.
Yes.
Or just go with what the girls used to call you when you were in college, Asho Ling O Ling O Ling.
Or they call me Gash.
Gash.
Yes, they call me Gash.
I once got you a pair of custom-made runners when I
still
was
have
really
them.
trying to woo you.
Pair of purple Converse. I still
Purple
have them.
and green Converse, and I got your name stitched in it. It was like Gash.
Yeah, I still wear them. I love them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was one of the good presents now.
Yeah, I know. Don't get good presents anymore.
Yeah, you do.
I get panic good presents.
Hang on. No, that's not fair. I recently, for your birthday, got you one of those masks.
Yeah,
LED
panic good presents.
No, it wasn't a panic. That's what I decided I was going to get you.
I am very appreciative of them, as in like, because I know there's a lot of thought
The problem was
at last minute into them. So you throw a bit of money at them to get them. Whereas previously there would have been planning and there would have been time and all of that jazz.
And from where do you think we are going to either of us pluck this time? From our arsehole? Oh, yeah.
I have been waiting for that smoker to go on sale. I've been waiting about 6 months for that smoker to go on sale because it didn't go on sale in January.
Oh, you were thinking about it for my birthday.
Yeah, even getting it in Christmas, your birthday. I had texted a colleague from work being like, what do you think about this at Christmas time? I was not spending that amount of money on it, so I didn't get it.
Great present, to be fair.
Now, there you go. So that's, I think of things because I love you, Carl.
Sorry. And I love you too. I pay full whack. and you're worth it.
Oh, I don't love you that much. Now, come on. Let's be honest. So there you go. So I have a smelly hole and I prefer to be called Aisling.
Great.
There you go. I'm going to continue having a smelly hole this week because
we're having brisket.
Go on, Carl. How are you, Lovie? How was this week?
Yeah, it was a lovely week. Like, I mean, we did a lot of nice things. Like, listen, look, there's no point in like beating around the bush. Like, we're just in a proper chaotic stage of life with the kids. In that, like, Bavian is like mobile. She's climbing. So, like, multiple times a day, there's parts where you're about to pull your hair out.
Yes.
But then there's also multiple times of the day where you're like, this is class, and you just have to like go with the waves of it, and that's it. But we did some lovely things this week, just in terms of things for us. Like, we went out and we met Darren and Mark.
Yes.
This is Darren Garrihy,
Carl's
who I used to be
colleague.
I used to do breakfast
And
with.
actually, not just
every
work
day.
colleague. They're your pals. They're great.
And it was lovely. It was just a bit, and we met little Rosie. That was nice. Our friends were over last night. Our two of our best buddies, and we had a mad night in that it was very chilled. Wasn't like we had a couple of drinks, but it was very like sitting on a drink. But my God, did the conversation go somewhere I did not expect it to go.
Sorry, I forgot about this because actually we wanted to talk about this in the pod this week.
And that's exactly why I brought it up straight away.
Oh, brilliant. Okay. Yeah, this is really intriguing.
Okay, so how did this come up? Did you see this on Instagram?
I straight out asked Kev, what did he want? I said, did he want to be cremated or did he want to be buried? And then he was chatting to me and then he was wondering then, he just straight out then, because he said he wanted to be buried.
Yeah.
Didn't he? He said, I want the biggest, sorry Kevin, just letting everyone know what you would prefer. So at least it's on.
It's on the record now.
But he wanted to be, what's the word I'm looking for? He said, I want the biggest burial ground site ever. He says, I want a vault.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, okay, that's fine. And then he straight up asked, you know, if you get cremated, we're talking about like, what could you do with the ashes and everything? And he was saying, because I was talking about Dad's ashes and what they're in currently and before we make decisions and everything. And he was like, I wonder if you could put ashes into a dildo. And I said, I am going to Google this.
No, sorry, just
or was it his missus?
How did? Surely he didn't just come straight.
No, he was joking. This is normal banter between you and Kevin, right? It was just normal banter, and I said, "Do you know what? I'm sure you could. Let's Google it."
And it turns out,
Google it?
There's a company called 21 Grams.
Yeah.
It's a Dutch designer, and this started as an art project featuring hand-blown glass dildos with a chamber capable of holding a small amount of a deceased person's ashes. So it wasn't intended as a novelty item. It was designed as a piece exploring grief, intimacy, and continuing a physical connection after death.
Yes.
The memorial box also included a perfume atomizer filled with the deceased's favourite scent.
Yes.
A compartment for music and keepsakes. So with this guy specifically, this was an art installation.
Yes.
So you couldn't buy it, but you could definitely I'm sure, find this somewhere else. Or
Well, no, because I've looked it up. Like you can purchase it.
you can purchase this now.
It costs 10 grand, $10,000.
10 grand. Sorry.
10,000
Hang on a
euro.
minute. Okay. Right.
10,000 euro.
Okay. Imaginary scenario. I'm gone.
Yes.
Right. I decide to get cremated.
Yes.
Would you put a bit of me inside a dildo so you could have your way with me?
No, I really don't think I could.
I think it's mad.
Yeah, I don't think I could. But like, I like the thought process.
I feel like I'd be in there. I'm not meant to see in here. Close your eyes, Carl.
the cornea will be burnt off you. No, his premise for doing it was lovely because there was a neighbour that he lived beside, like his neighbour that he lived beside. She'd become a widow and she was really missing him, her husband.
Yeah.
And she was saying she really missed like the thoughts of him and kind of being intimate with him. And this is how the premise for it came up. So to unlock it, you use like a ring. Then there's a place to put your engagement ring. So like the reason why you unlock it.
Sorry, when you were saying ring, I genuinely was thinking sexual.
Sorry.
Is it like a
no,
cock
you
ring
unlock
or
it.
something like that?
His whole thing is like it's all about the whole point of a relationship. So the part that makes you married is when they first propose to you. So you unlock it with a chain with your ring.
That's cool.
Then you have, the smell of him. And then you have the dildo with the ashes. You can there's a dock for an iPhone on it so that you can play your songs.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so I'm like, okay, the premise of it is pretty cool. But I went down a rabbit hole on this with our friends last night. So we were watching the video as in he was explaining it to two American guys. And the guys were like, oh no, man.
I have to say, I do find, like, I understand that whole premise of like missing someone and missing being intimate with them. And like, obviously you'd like with a partner, you'd miss them in many different ways.
Yes.
But I don't really get how having them in a dildo would help you connect with them.
That is not for me.
Yeah.
Like, that is not for me because I'm like, it's just too clinical there now. Good luck and goodbye.
I do like, for the crack now, I like the idea of being put in a dildo just so it could be like, there's Carl, you. Do you know what I mean? It's like you're still having a laugh after death. I like it in that sense.
Carl, that's disgusting.
There's other things I did see that you can do though, which actually this one seems
with
nice.
With dildos or with ashes?
Not with ashes, not with dildos.
Okay.
You can get someone turned into a diamond. You can turn ashes into a diamond. So it's carbon is extracted from cremated ashes. Under extreme heat and pressure, it's turned into a genuine laboratory-grown diamond.
Yes.
You choose your colour, size, cut. Costs around between 2,000 and 20,000 plus. Like, apparently larger diamonds can exceed 30 grand.
Yes.
Only around 200 grams of ashes are usually required, meaning families can split ashes between several memorials. Which I think that's really nice. The idea of like having someone as a diamond, if you had the money, it's a nice way to remember someone.
I just feel like if you get the ashes, I think they're just meant to go back to the earth. That's how I would feel about the ashes. I don't know if I would feel comfortable having the ashes on me. Now, one of the girls, she has her little dog's ashes in a little chain.
Yeah.
And I do think if Angie was to go, I 100%, I would bathe in her ashes.
Okay,
like,
that's the,
do you know,
I get the sentiment. It's a strange way of putting it.
Yeah. I do think,
ashes.
no, as in like, well, what's your one over in Egypt? Cleopatra, she bathed in milk every day. Yes, every day. That was the whole thing. Apparently she bathed in milk.
Yeah, she must have stank.
That was the whole thing, that she bathed in milk.
Sorry, of all the things that I would love to bathe in, I don't think I'd like to bathe in milk.
No. God, can you imagine what my hole would smell like then?
Jesus, Ash, I really like. Sorry, the fact that like we've talked about your hole this much on the podcast.
Sorry, I know, yeah. And then dildos for the other orifice out of my body. Right. No, I think I would like something with Angie's ashes. I think. Like something, so she's always with me.
Yeah, that's nice.
Do you know that way?
A couple of other things you can get done. You can have ashes pressed into a vinyl. That's kind of nice. So you can pick have a vinyl, which the person's favourite songs, recorded messages, family audio, even silence or whatever like that. But essentially have their ashes pressed into a vinyl.
Interesting.
Kind of nice.
Okay. Fire
your ashes into a firework. I've heard of that. That is kind of back to the earth now. I saw a video about this recently. Genuinely.
Yeah.
Just baby, you're a firework. Which is about I think that's what that song's about.
Someone's ashes?
I think it's about firing someone's ashes up into the sky.
Okay.
Bang, there you go. Become part of a coral reef, you can go. do that. Go into space. Companies that send a small amount of ashes into Earth orbit, to the moon, into deep space, or in a suborbital flight. There's loads of other things. You can even get tattoos made with ashes. So there's loads of nice things you can do. I've heard that
before. Yeah. No, so the moral of the story is I will not be getting 21 grams of your ashes shoved up my gee.
Okay, that's fair enough. That's...
Roles were reversed. Would you get 21 grams of me shoved up you?
No.
Well then.
No, I turn you into a vinyl. Or I put you in a firework. That'd be good crack. I'd be like, once the dust had settled, excuse the pun with the dust part of it, but once like everyone was kind of a bit more at peace with the whole thing.
Let's celebrate her again.
It'd be like, we'll go up the mountains and fire Mam up into the sky.
But our fireworks not illegal.
Yeah, but I'm sure if the guards came, it'd be like, actually, that was my wife. We just fired off into the sky.
We just blew up. And then the guards would be like, what?
The guards would start coughing. It's like, what's that in the sky? It's like, you're breathing in my wife. She's falling on you now like rain. God, that's so grim.
Oh God.
It's all so grim.
Can we just please keep nice at this on this week's episode? But yes, there you go.
Well, then going on to something nice then, just to finish off how my week was. We had Davey's last day of play school.
Yeah.
And it was his last day of play school. And on the same day, I went to collect his new school uniform for his new school. And it was, I have to say, collecting the school uniform when he came home and we put it on him. And it was just like, oh my God, I can't believe this is it. We're about to start big school. And I don't know if you found it. He put on the school uniform and he aged 6 years.
I know.
It was just like, you're a teenager.
You're
was
a big
crazy.
grown-up boy now.
Yeah. It's so exciting, but
it's exciting. I just get so scared of them because there is going to be like...
I know, falling's out.
Yes, he has to experience all that and you have to let him experience it as well. I'm like, oh, that's my baby.
It's one of our first experiences as parents where you do have to like surrender control slightly because it's a bit more controlled in like play school because they're that small that like there's probably less of the kind of personality stuff going on.
Yes.
Whereas like when they go into primary school, everyone's getting a bit older.
I think
there's
they kind
more
of know
of
more
them,
what they say as well.
less teachers to kind of stay on top of them.
Yes.
More time alone in the playground. It's just like, and I suppose as well, we remember primary school. I don't really remember play school. So you have a direct reference yourself back to it.
I remember play school, yeah.
I very, very small. Do you remember your first day of school?
No.
I remember very vaguely my first day of school walking over.
I remember weeing in the line waiting for the toilet.
On your first day?
No, in junior infants.
God.
Yeah.
It's so funny. I'd love to slag you.
Like we're so small. Like, no. You know, but then I was 4 starting. I'd only just turned 4.
What?
I was 4. It was different back then. Like some of us would have started when you were 4. You would have been 4.5 probably starting. Because you turned in the January. So I was 4, I turned 4 in the May and we started in September.
Wow, you were young.
Yeah, whereas my sister was 4 in June and she started in the September.
That's mad. So basically if Davey was going on your kind of basis, he'd be finished his first year of school now.
Yes.
God, that is mad.
Yeah, you know. So no, it was kind of one of those things where you put on that uniform and we were like, oh my God.
Yeah. So that's it. We're literally now properly on the horse of parenthood in terms of like now we're on the schedule of school.
Yes.
Like as in if we want to go on holidays, it's during term time. It's outside of term time.
Yeah.
Like so we've kind of pulled the trigger on it. We haven't pulled the trigger on it yet, but we've decided we're going to try and do Vietnam next year to visit my sister.
Yes, during Easter holidays.
But it has to be during Easter holidays.
Yes,
so hopefully we can. It'll be affordable.
We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Well, I was laughing on Davey's last day of Neenra, and the teacher's like, I'm not going to get emotional because I was like, I'm going to see you now in September because we'll have Ayla again going in, and the teachers turned around. They're like, oh, we'll have Ayla in September, and I was almost like rolling in the window, being like, yeah, you will, suckers.
yeah.
Because it's a completely different ballgame with Ayla.
We were like, this is not the sequel to the movie. This is like the spin-off horror version.
I would literally be like throwing her in, being like, bye. Okay, this part of the podcast is Sniper Alley. This is the part where I usually create a song. I say usually because I have a bit of news for Carl. I usually create a song, and I started doing song. Effectively, Sniper Alley is my part of the podcast where I can kind of pick a Carl and be like, yo, pull your socks up.
Yeah.
And we found this was a lot easier because otherwise I'd be snipey during the whole podcast. So at least if I can direct it into this one spot,
Yeah.
it's easier, right?
Well, hang on. I also get to have.
You do.
a part to
Generally
play
don't
in
because you're just
Sniper
so
Alley.
easygoing. So this week, I'm sorry, it progressed into song because when we were on holidays a couple of months ago,
Yes.
I was singing, walking along what I wanted to say to him.
Well, no, yeah, exactly. We decided that, like, that's it in front of the kids. If
Yes.
we needed to have a go, it'd be like,
Yes.
we're doing it to the theme tune of SpongeBob
Of SpongeBob.
SquarePants.
But anyway, so this week though, Carl, I decided because in fairness, this morning was fairly, like it was chilled and then the kids, when we got back from the park, it was
Correct.
just hectic. And I could see you being overwhelmed.
Oh, yeah, I was overwhelmed.
And you were
a
in
lot
the
this
middle of
week.
your brisket.
Mhm.
And I just said, do you know what? I feel like if we're recording now in the next hour, I feel like I don't need to bring Sniper Alley to him. So I'm just giving you a nice little pass. You can remember this now.
Well, with that said, I have something.
So go on, fire ahead.
You can have your Sniper Alley if you want.
No,
I'm
I don't.
absolutely
I
fine
know. I genuinely, I need to give him breathing space because I feel if I don't give you breathing space, you'll get more overwhelmed.
Well, I was. Oh God, that makes me worry then about what you would have at Sniper Alley.
No.
I was lashing the Shakti mat out of it this week, trying to regulate my nervous system.
Yes, you were.
which is helpful. My small Sniper Alley for this week is. Do you remember we spoke about it a few weeks ago?
Is it directed towards me?
Yes.
Oh wow. Okay, go on.
Do you remember a few weeks ago we talked about where I was like, could you introduce a delay before you say something? Because generally your brain is so far ahead that I don't have time to process things. So you'll be about to ask me to do something and I'm literally about to say it or give you an answer or to do the thing.
Yes.
But then you're saying it and then it makes it look like I'm not doing the thing.
Did we say that I was going to have a delay?
You said you were going to take a second.
Yeah, I remember that now. Yeah.
Could we introduce the delay, please? Not just to your mouth, also to your eyes. And I'll tell you exactly why.
Go on.
Because we were, after we went to see Darren and Mark today,
Yes.
we had parked there's a Lidl out in Castleknock.
Yes.
And we had parked there and you were like, oh, do you know what? I'll run up and get a few bits for the week. So I was like, Grant, I'll go back to the car, got the kids in the car and everyone was fine. And then Baven just started getting really restless and she was crying. And I was like, I'll start driving the car because then she just tends to settle when we're moving. So I was driving around just the car park.
Yes.
Doing circles. But then you came out and I could see you were looking for me. And I came out at like a T-junction of the underground car park.
Yes.
And I just thought Ash was going to jump into the car.
Yes.
Whereas, geez, I beeped the horn. But because it was a public setting and then you're awkward in a public setting, you could not have rolled your eyes back further. It was a very quick momentary thing, but it was just like,
was it?
that was, if your eyes rolling could make a noise, this was the noise.
Okay.
That was it. And I was just like, we need to ask about the introduction of a time delay for the eyes as well.
That's fair enough. Can I just explain why I roll?
Yeah.
Okay. The last message you sent to me was that you were parked in the same spot. So
Yeah, that's fair.
I came out with heavy bags
Yeah.
from the supermarket
You 2 bags.
that were fully loaded because I didn't want to pay for a third, so they were heavy.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know,
Right.
Put them down while you're waiting. Yeah, keep going.
I wasn't meant to be waiting for you because I was meant to be going to the park where you were spot.
But your
where-
daughter.
The spot where you were parked because you said 5 minutes before this, we are still parked in the same spot.
Bathing was
Yes, so
crying
text
then.
me. You didn't text me. Then you come up out of the car park, okay? Beep the horns if to say, yo, bitch, roll in there with the messages, right? And I was like, I can't roll in there with the messages because I can't put them in the front because I knew that my big bag was in the front.
Yeah.
Can't put them on my knee because there's too much of them, right?
Yeah.
So they had to go into the boot, but I couldn't just open the boot in the car park because Angie was in the boot. So I was like, you are not reading the situation. Hence the eye roll. I understand the delay. And yes, I will work on that.
I wasn't-
But do not be like,
No, I
beep
wasn't.
the horn to be like, yo, bitch, roll on into my car.
No, I was beeping the horn because I could see you looking around for us. So I was just
Yeah.
like, there's mom, beep. That was it. I was excited to see you. And then I met with
Sorry, I actually
basically in
didn't
your
say
face.
anything. I actually didn't say
Yeah, but
anything
that's what
to
your
you.
eyes said to me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
I don't say anything, so suck up the eyes. I have to deal with your ADHD brain. So suck it up. Okay, so this week in correspondence, I actually have a few. I didn't think I was going to go for much, but you know what? I was like, I'm going to go through all of them, okay?
Right.
So the first one is on Spotify. This one came in from Antonia.
Right.
And last week, if you remember, I was asking about what people thought. Sorry, so let me get back onto newest. What people thought of
Olivia Dean.
Yes, on the Sunday night. Okay, because I felt last Sunday night that it wasn't as good as what I was expecting it to be, and what everyone else explained it to be from the Saturday night.
And pretty much anyone who's there on the Saturday has said it was a sensational gig.
And I was chatting to Darren this morning about it, and I just said, because she was up there on the Saturday, I was there on the Sunday, and I said I was expecting a lot more. She did say at the start of the concert her voice was going.
Yeah.
She sang a really long, slow set.
Okay.
For a huge chunk of the concert. Everyone knew the songs.
Yes.
But she just lost the crowd because she was talking a lot through it as well at the beginning and at the end of each song, as opposed to just going into some of the songs. So she lost a lot of people, I think.
Okay.
But that's not to say, like, I love this girl so much. I love Olivia Dean. So I said to her, and I was like, I think I need to go to another concert of hers to make my summation.
Okay, that's fair enough.
Okay. So what Antonia said, so I put a call out last week and I said, did anyone else go both nights? Did someone go the Sunday night? What did they think? Because I felt like it was a very harsh judgment of mine to make, but I felt it was true. Anyway, Antonia said, my daughter was there on Sunday. She said it was very disappointing. She loves her but felt very let down.
No way.
Yeah. So
mad.
Yeah. Then we got another email in from Kira Moley. Hi, Ash and Carl, Kitties and Angie. I knew I had to write in when Ash was talking about the Olivia Dean concert, and as someone who goes to dozens of concerts every year, I think I've worked out why some concerts are great and some are a bit lackluster. If an artist is playing more than one night in a row, usually the first night tickets go on sale and all the hardcore fans get their tickets for the first night. Then when a second night is released, the fans that missed out on the first night get tickets, but the rest of the tickets go to people who might know a few songs. Usually the high energy ones are ones that are popular on radio, or people who think it will be a good concert to go to, or sometimes a bit of FOMO if they don't go. So the crowd in the first night know every word to every song, even though the slow one's in the middle, and they keep the energy high the entire time. On the second night, the artist loses the crowd in the middle because maybe only half of the crowd know the slower songs, album songs that aren't on the radio, and the energy dips when the other half lose interest. I've noticed this a couple of times at different types of concerts, small venues, big venues, bands and solo artists. Sometimes a concert that looked incredible on the first night just doesn't live up to the hype on the second night. That's what I felt was the case. That's why, and this is a controversial opinion because I hate missing out on getting concerts or tickets to concerts I want to go to. I prefer when an artist only goes and does a single concert per venue city. A concert that's one night only always has incredible energy and enthusiasm and excitement compared to a run of concerts. It might just be me, but from what I've experienced, it seems to be a pattern. Anyway, that's my 2 cents. Absolutely love the podcast. Kira. Thank you, Kira.
Thank you, Kira. That's a very good theory. Just when you say that.
It's a good theory, but then, like, I just think Ticketmaster doesn't work that way anymore. It doesn't give you the opportunity anymore to say, okay, normally when you're going to Ticketmaster, you're going to like literally get tickets.
Yeah.
Because it's so hard to get tickets. So you're getting what you're given.
Yeah.
So I don't think Ticketmaster gives you that opportunity anymore to be quite selective about what you get.
You can select dates. You can definitely select dates.
You can select dates, yes. But for those big, like her tickets were like gold dust to get. So they even then upped her venue because she wasn't originally meant to be in Fairview Park.
Yeah,
and because of the demand, they brought her over to Marley Park.
But what she means there is that oftentimes an artist will put a gig on sale.
Yes.
And then they will only announce the second gig after the first one has sold out.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? So like that's the issue there is like where you have all the hardcore fans are like, I definitely want tickets.
Yes.
See, especially where like you've got certain artists who are so established. It's like we're putting on 5 nights, whatever it might be. They're all on sale in one go.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And that's something that kind of annoys me when it comes to gigs as well, where I always hate if they announce new gigs, but the new gigs are after the ones that have already sold out. Because like if I'm a fan, I want to go to, like, let's say U2 was playing 5 nights in Croke Park. Okay, just for argument's sake. They're playing 5 nights in Croke Park, but 2 go on sale initially. Mm-hmm. And I get tickets to the second night because I'd rather be there on the closing night of the gig. Mm-hmm. But then they put 3 more on sale afterwards. Mm-hmm. but they're for like dates after. I'm like, well, hang on. I feel like I have a hard done by because I bought tickets for the closing night, but that's no longer the closing night. It's now in the middle of the run.
Yes.
And like that annoys me because I'm just like, I really do think if you put tickets on sale and like there's either an opening or a closing night, I think it should probably stay as opening or closing night.
Okay.
If you can fit stuff in between there, it's a hard one. Like
yeah, but not many acts would do an opening and closing night.
And that's it. It's
in
with
Ireland.
big. I know it is with big acts and big artists,
Yes.
but. Look,
there's an element of truth there. I think I'm wondering if it's a generational thing as well, because like I remember I struggled with concerts when I was in London, and like you always hear artists saying, "Oh my goodness, Irish fans are the best fans," and like we're always so engaged and we're bopping away. But I remember when I was in London, I went to see a few concerts over there, and I was like, people are just talking the whole time.
Yeah.
Like it's a different vibe.
Yeah.
Like you're not necessarily there, like they're talking, but like just enjoying being in the park, listening to the music, or being in the venue, listening to the music. I'm like, where's the die-hard fans?
100%.
You know, it's just a completely different vibe. So I felt like that was a little bit like that for Olivia Dean. But then everyone was still there. Like there were people around us that were still knew the words. Like we were in the front standing part.
Yeah.
So in the front standing and at the back, we were at the barrier at the front standing part. So even you could still see the crowd behind. They knew the songs, and some people in the groups were still singing the songs, but then some people were still talking.
Yeah.
But I felt it was the amount of slow songs that she did that lost everybody because she was trying to save her voice.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
There was just nothing. There was no oomph. And then she was talking. So anyway, I've never talked about a concert so much in my life, but I just felt my expectations were set high.
Yeah.
And especially when people went on the Saturday night, I was like, oh my goodness, here we go. Cannot wait. But it just was, now I would 100% go again because I love her.
I also think as well, and this is something you could never prove or disprove, I am a big believer though in there's just collective energy, and sometimes the collective energy is just right.
Yeah.
And it's a banger of a night. And then sometimes it's off and it doesn't click.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the way the cookie crumbles as well.
So I think collective energy was not good on Sunday.
Okay. Well, you'll just have to go again.
I'll just have to go again. There you go.
And
so sorry, that came in from, I forgot we were doing correspondence. I thought it was just like a little bit of
having a lovely little chat.
Discussion.
Yes.
That came in from Kira. Next one comes in from, okay, Carl, you'll like this one. It's a little bit of me and a little bit of you. This one came in from Hannah, and it's titled "Glandular Fever Led Me to Being a Peds Nurse."
Oh.
So this is off the back of, you were chatting a couple of weeks ago, I think 2 or 3 podcasts ago.
Where glandular fever
brought up again in one of the multiple times about you having glandular fever.
So
you were septic.
I think it was the first time ever on the podcast I'd spoken about it.
Okay, but I generally hear about this probably once a month about Carl being septic.
I'm spreading awareness.
Yes, and fair play to you. Yeah. No, it is very important to spread awareness about sepsis. Anyway, Hannah goes on to say, I'm just catching up on a few episodes of the pod. I listened to Chafe Nipples, Taxi Drama and New Waves of Grief. During the episode, Carl spoke about his run in with glandular fever and nearly becoming septic. Not nearly becoming, you were septic. It made me think of when I had glandular fever myself. I was 14, just started 3rd year in secondary school. I had been sick for a few days, but because I was in a boarding school, Mum didn't realise how sick I was. I had been brought to the doctor and they said it was just viral. 5 days later, I was still getting sicker, so Mum came down to collect me and bring me to my own GP. When we got there, my BP was in my boots, had awful abdo pain, and I wasn't able to pass urine. Okay, that's bad.
Sorry, this is such nurse talk. It's just the way you say
BP
in my
pressure.
boots.
Yes.
And what
blood
was
pressure.
And what was the other part?
Abdo pain.
Abdomen pain.
Yes. So anyway, I went straight to A&E and was brought into resus. So resus is the part of A&E where, shit has hit the fan. Let's get everyone sorted. After a fluid bolus, so a bolus is like a lot of fluid all in one go. The blood pressure was still in my boots and was still unable to pass urine. This led to me needing a catheter. Would not recommend as a 14-year-old because that's very, as a 14-year-old,
so the catheter is the thing that helps you to pee.
Wee goes up your little wee hole. Yeah.
Oh God!
So
I would give you painkillers for that.
No, Carl. Anyway, I was persistently.
Sorry, I have to go back. Sorry. So hang on. If you're a lad, is that down your wee hole?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. They put a little bit of numbing cream
straight
on.
Down the centre of it.
Yes, Carl. They pull back the skin and in it goes.
How big's the straw?
Carl, it's a catheter. It's like different Frenches. Different size. They have to have a look at the little hole first and see. I'm joking.
And how do they get it out?
There's a little balloon inside. They have to inflate it to keep it in place. And then when they want to take it back out. Can you please stop being so dramatic, Carl? I had to get catheters with the kids when they were being born.
Yeah, but you did epidural, did you not?
This is before the epidural went in.
I'll tell you this much now. If I ever have to get one of them, tell them to put me in a coma and wake me up when it's done.
Right, would you stop being so dramatic, Carl?
Put me asleep.
Will you let me read? It's a
Go
long
on,
email.
go on.
Thank you. Anyway, I was persistently febrile, so febrile means she had a temperature, and my whole body was swollen. They quickly confirmed I was septic but couldn't find the source. It was in ED. I met the nurse who made me want to be a nurse. Up until this, I was convinced I wanted to be an accountant, so fair to say this was a big 360. The nurse's name was Robbie. He was an agency nurse who did nights. He reminded me so well in ED. For the remainder of my admission, whenever he was working, he came to see me and check on me wherever I was in the hospital. When I was back eating, he even brought me potatoes and bread to make a potato sandwich. After a couple of days of bloods, ultrasounds and many IV meds, it was confirmed I was septic, secondary to glandular fever. My spleen was measuring 19 centimetres. Wow, that's pretty massive. That is massive, actually. And I had internal bleeding. My kidneys were not functioning great and my liver enzymes were through the roof. I was brought to high dependency on day 3 and stayed there for nearly 2 weeks. They were considering doing a splenectomy as there was no sign of the spleen recovering and it was putting too much pressure on the rest of my organs. Many IV antibiotics, fluids, and then TPN, so like your dinner in a bag effectively that goes through a cannula. I started to turn a corner. I was finally transferred to the peds ward and the discharge was in sight. It was a long recovery but was grateful for the care, especially from my nurse Robbie. I went on to do C&G, so that's what I did. So that's children and general nursing combined, and did my training in CHI, which is Children's Health Ireland. I very often think of Nurse Robbie, and I'm so grateful for him sending me down this path. Love the pod, Hannah.
That's what a great story.
Yes, yeah. So
God,
there you go.
Isn't it mad? Isn't it genuinely though mad that like something that can sound as like innocuous as like say glandular fever? I never would have thought that it's a particularly like dangerous thing.
Yes.
But it's then if something like that turns into sepsis.
Just if you're not getting better.
Yeah.
You know.
God, that's scary.
Yeah.
And that's where it can go to. Is like,
and
that's
it is
where
a virus. So like it was right that she did have a viral fever. Do you know the way initially it just was getting worse? It was taking hold of her, I suppose.
Wow. God, that's mad. Well, anyway.
There you go. So you can get sepsis. That's the second person now who's been septic due to glandular
that sounds
fever.
now, in
that
fairness,
was quite extensive.
Yeah, as in mine was kind of caught in the very early stages. So
yes.
I do remember my liver bloods being off.
Yes.
Which I meant nothing to me. But now that she says that, I'm like, oh, okay. Right,
yes, there you go.
Wow. Well, that's I don't know if it's a nice way to finish, but it was a lovely email.
It is nice, isn't it? Like she found her calling. But then funny enough, so when I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do, I had nursing, but I loved business. Now, I didn't do accounting, but I didn't pick accounting for leaving cert, but I could still go do accounting as a course because I had business in one of my subjects for leaving. Do you know that way? I didn't do specifically do accounting. So I was half hemming and hawing about going to be an accountant.
I have to say,
yes.
If any of the kids were like, I want to be an accountant or anything like that, I'd be like, go for it because it's so useful to have someone like that.
Oh, no, 100%. Yeah. No, I was half hemming and hawing. And then there was like that, and do I want to do teaching?
Yeah.
So I end up.
Do you know what? You can always pivot.
Instead.
You can always pivot.
Always pivot, Carl.
Yeah.
So yeah, there you go. And then her little nurse Robbie.
Amazing. Well, I think that's a nice place to finish for this week on How You Lovey. But we will remind you, howyouluvey@gmail.com if you want to email us about anything at all.
Yes, and remember to rate, review, share and subscribe. And don't forget to give us an L watch on YouTube.
Yes, we always love that as well. And a reminder, bonus episode on Saturday.
Yes.
We got such a response to the kids saying embarrassing things. We need to do a part 2.
Yes, so that's happening this Saturday.
Have a lovely week, everyone. And we'll see you on Saturday for the bonus episode.
Okay, slán slán.